You know, we can thank the 5th generation of games for a lot of things. I mean, 3D in only a couple of years turned into standard practice for most game designers there on out. But have you ever noticed how weird the games released then could be, especially on the Sony PlayStation? I mean, some of the most popular games back then had really odd premises. Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, Crash Bandicoot. I know those are mainstream, but that's what I'm getting at. Popular games today that are homogenized bullcrap back then could be about time-traveling monkey hunters and rapping dogs. Hey, I'm not saying there aren't any exceptions, but if you consider how insane the mainstream titles could be back in the day, just imagine what kind of ludicrous experiments we might be able to find hidden in the lost void of obscure PS1 games. Yes, I'm making this a thing. Today's subject matter will be Overblood 2, a game Mitch found in a charity shop in Scotland, played for 5 minutes and then sent to me. Great. So my first thought had to be, what the I'm gonna wager not a single one of you has ever heard of this game. Apparently it's a sequel to some sort of cyber survival horror game. Well, the cover makes it look very dark and foreboding. Who knows, we might have a hidden gem on our hands. I'm gonna make a tiny gamble and say probably not. So okay, I boot up the game and of course we get one of these extremely confusing pre-menu intro sequences. PS1 games do seem to have a habit of doing these, though normally they're not as badly compressed as this. You guys do know you have 2 discs for this stuff, right? Good news, we're in the future, and as usual, airships are all the rage. We catch up with some secret agent chick who's tagging an old man while being rather introspective.
All those people, so oblivious. No other cares than worrying about what gift to get Aunt Jane and Uncle Bob.
Oh look, it's Charlie from Street Fighter, and we appear to be playing as him. Righto, no problem, I guess. Anyway, let's try out some oh sweet baby Cthulhu, what is that? This guy's jumps are just, well, look at them. Nathan Drake's spastic arm flailing is nothing on this guy. I mean, wow.
East Edge City. Let's take a look around.
Anyway, we appear to be in some sort of airport checkout, but I have no idea where to go or what to do. There are no visible exits. I keep going up and down, but my navigation skills just don't seem to be getting me anywhere. Let's talk to some random folks, I guess. Oh look, she wants to go to a restaurant because she's fat. Get it? Ah, funny. Might as well check out my inventory. Oh, I have a knife, which is frickin' huge! How did he get that thing through customs exactly? Guy's an A-class smuggler. Ah, jeez, this game is just ugly. Nobody has a face. I looked it up. Do you know what year this game was released in? 2001. You know what other game came out in 2001? Metal Gear Solid 2. Okay, different system. But even compared to other PS1 games, this game is just fugly. Okay, I've been running around this place for a fair bit now, and I'm starting to question whether the game designers working on this title know that giving the player no direction this early in the game is, you know, terrible design. Well, at this point I decided to cave in and look up some sort of walkthrough online. Guess how many I found? 1. Do you know the best part? It wasn't even half finished. If that doesn't have you shaking in your boots, I don't know what will. Well, turns out I had to talk to that one guy in the intro cutscene who my main character's never met before and knows nothing about. Well, that makes sense. Though even if I did know this, it would be pretty hard to track the guy down amongst all the faceless NPCs. So you and the old man hold hands.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now, what will it be?
And then you have a That's So Raven style premonition in which some gangsters show up and waste the codger. Well, 10 seconds later, they actually do show up, and hey, conveniently, all the NPCs have disappeared, presumably looking for their frickin' faces.
Ah, Dr. Velta Curtis. I'm Kondo. I forgot. I was told your memory might be a bit skewed. You have something that belongs to me. It's a small metal capsule, and I want it back.
Do a barrel roll!
You're pretty strong, aren't you?
Who are you? Get out of the way or die.
Hey, time out.
Your time is up.
I think your safety's on.
Maybe it is.
Man, shit is getting pretty intense.
Get out of here!
Check out the ragdoll physics. And now the gangster's turning into the Martian Manhunter?
What's happened?
Is it a different dimension?
Other dimension?
What sort of
What?
person is
When? What is going on? So our hero, Arcano is apparently his name, runs off with some doohickey the old man left behind and proceeds to jump out a window to escape.
You're crazy!
You know, that scene kind of reminds me of something. I can't quite put my finger on it. Arcano washes up downtown and proceeds to examine the device he just acquired.
You know, maybe the fate of the entire planet depends on this.
Jump into some conclusions there, buddy.
What's this button? Wonder if it's safe to press it. This thing could explode or something. Nah, it's probably safe. Downtown. Maybe I can pawn this. Sorry, Pops. I did my best. But I've got to take care of number one.
Freeze frame! He figures out that the capsule is telling him to go to a bar named Dina, where he tries to get some help from the friendly bartender.
You're pissing me off.
Doesn't go too well. However, when the bartender hears the secret message hidden in the device, he becomes a little more cooperative. Yeah, turns out this guy's the main protagonist from the first game, like that matters at all.
I tracked down the information on the project that confirms part of our theory. We were on target about the corporate connection and...
Yeah, you know, a cutscene is riveting stuff when you have to pan a picture across the screen to make it interesting. I mean, what kind of talentless hack would do that?
You're crazy!
I haven't really mentioned the voice acting yet. I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Peculiar how pretty much everybody is from the good old British Isles. I looked it up and it turns out the game's sold mostly in Europe, so I guess it makes a bit of sense, I don't know. Kind of feels like I'm playing Dragon Quest VIII again. Oh, jeez, I almost forgot about the secret Asian chick. Well, we cut away to her as she bitches to herself and then jarringly starts narrating like she's practicing for a stage play.
I'd better find him before Kondo does. As I walked down the dark, cold streets of Block C district.
So Raz here, that's his name, says he has some underground work he wants done to help some cause against some evil government or whatever. In exchange, he'll pay Arcano's entry fee into some silly sport he really wants to do. You're then tasked with going around town on the hunt for some supplies for the upcoming mission. Now I decided to buy a flamethrower.
You're crazy!
You know, I must say, there's a certain charm to these old-school, half-pre-rendered, dark, gritty PS1 games. There's a certain dirty likability to them, the kind of dingy atmosphere that makes you want to play the old-school Resident Evil games again. Whatever the case, I soon started to wonder what I'm actually supposed to be doing again, so I headed back to the Dina bar where I started messing around with some sort of floating statue. Hey, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, yeah, a bit of an embarrassing first death, I must admit. Crushed by naked lady bust. Turns out you need to get a hookshot from behind Raz's car, and then we can cut away again to more exposition. Sort of an abrupt transition. They really picked an awkward spot to intercut their boring cutscene into. The entire game is just a very bad example of game design in general, actually. Even if the game wasn't clunky, the truckloads of plot really is not just overwhelming, but rather counterproductive to creating a seamless experience. In fact, so far, most gameplay is just consistent in getting Arcano to the next non-playable piece of narrative.
Go and rent yourself a room and get some sleep. Meet me here at midnight tomorrow.
Screw you then and your cutting out audio. Later.
So, this is Crimson Lake. Wow. When you're up close like this, it really is blood red.
Well, time to start the first mission, right? Oh, actually no, Raz needs to lecture us about the environment.
That term, terrathermic syndrome, was bullshit. This planet was at the first stage of ecosystem burnout, and that was 10 years ago. But maybe it's fair. Earth kills us before we kill it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, I'm half asleep at this point anyway.
Put one on ice for me, will you?
Don't want any scuba gear or anything? No? Okay, fine. So our first mission begins, and looks like the game is giving us some alternate routes to take. Huh, a PS1 swimming section. No thanks, let's just bionic command our way up there. The main gist of this is that we have to find some sort of map in the pirate hideout place that will apparently let us infiltrate the evil conglomerate's HQ later in the game. Okie dokie. The level is fairly open, we have to nose around and find keycards to let us access new areas. Too bad this is a PS1 game, so every door is intercut with some horrible flow-breaking loading time, but you know, we play the cards we're dealt, right? So I had a look about, avoiding these goofy-looking robots. Hey, I found the captain's room. Whee! Any other uneducated reviewer would make a joke out of this, but not me. I've got standards. Yeah. Oh goody, a shark tank. Damn it, I really want that shiny thing over there. Come on, I can get it. Oh, you can just walk around. Okay, that fuck up was on me. Sorry, gang. Platforming ain't exactly Super Mario Brothers, but hell, I've played worse, and it still looks really weird. Anyways, I found some key cards, turned off some electrical power, and finally found the really important map lying on the ground like a piece of discarded kitchen paper.
What's that?
You know, I was told this was a sequel to a horror game. Rather goofy music for an eerie, dark adventure, don't you think? What the... okay. Thanks. I got the feeling I'm not the only one who fell asleep in those cutscenes. The programmers apparently did as well. No time for celebrations though, because Dr. Wily shows up, captures you, turns the boat into an airship and makes you shoot down helicopters with a mounted turret. Yeah.
We were driven by our destiny, and we made our first step towards our future.
So in summary, as my first kind of thoughts on Overblood 2, well, it's
A different dimension.
yeah, that about sums it up actually.
You're crazy!